FAB-Racing.
As they head away on the formation lap, the grid, as far as we can tell it, is it will be Matt Birkin from the pole position, with Will Howth in second and Josh Birkin in P3. Craig Ashton's fourth and Holly Harris, as we just mentioned, in P5. Nick Bennett is P6 with Chris Yeoman in P7. Mark Payne is 8th, Keaton Payne is 9th, and Reece Gentry rounds out the top 10. Then it's Ross Michael, David Miat, Alberto Venteo, Callum White, Shannon King, Lamar Morgan, Jerome Richards, Rob Gentry, and Steve Johns rounds out the grid. And well, as we get ready to go racing for the Senior Minimotos, hold on to your hats, because this one is going to get pretty crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And one thing that is crazy is just how tall some of these riders are in these small bikes that are made for children, frankly, but they make it work, they make it fit, and they produce great racing for us at home, which we love to see.
Yeah, it is. I probably wouldn't fit on them knowing my knees. To be honest, I've got no idea how they managed to fit on them and stay in one piece, as that is one of the riders making his way back into the pits already. Again, early drama here for some of the riders out there. Season, well, not even getting underway for some of them, but it will be Josh Birkin, it looks like, starting from pole position. So it will be Matt starting. Matt's alongside him, so they've both got new suits. So it's Josh in the 2, Matt in the 5. So it's a Birkin front row. So the one at the back is just someone else in the Birkin's old suit. So who really knows what's going to happen? It's all open as we wait for the lights. The marshal gives the hand signal. It's lights on, lights off, we're underway, and it is a great start from Matt Birkin. Josh Birkin also away well. Try not to get confused between those two. It's Josh that leads the way into turn 1. Matt in tow, Will Howth in P3. Holly Harris moves up to P4 from the start. A great start from her as Craig Ashton loses out. Nick Bennett up to P6 as well, but a great start from Holly Harris. An even better start though from Josh Birkin into the lead of the race.
Yeah, Holly Harris is going to be wanting a great result today. She's going to try and just catch up to these top 3 riders who are in this small group right now. But if they can just battle a little bit, it will slow them down in the lap, and it'll just cause Holly Harris to catch up to them and hopefully get in a battle. But looming behind her is Craig Arshall. And Craig Arshall looks like he's looking up the inside, going in to look at these Minimotos use, but he cannot make it work.
No, he can't. So Holly Harris maintains that P4 for the time being. Important thing to note with these Senior Minimotos is that keep your eye on Nick Bennett. He's using a GHR engine in P6, which he's the only rider who's been allowed to do so. And he's essentially being a test mule to see if the GHR is a viable engine for this season. So maybe Nick Bennett turns into an absolute rocket ship later in the race. Who knows? Keep your eyes peeled. But it's Josh Birkin that leads from Matt Birkin, and they've changed their suits, which is really annoying, and they've given their suit to someone else, which is even more annoying because you can't quite tell who's who. But it's Josh who leads from Matt, who leads from Will Howard at the moment. And now the question, Tommy, there's 8 laps to go. How long until they crash into each other, frankly, because it is inevitable if you've been watching Fab before, as we've heard some scraping on the ground there, and there you go, one of them's over. I believe that's Matt Birkin who's just gone down, no, actually I think that's Josh that's gone down from the lead of the race. So just sort of saying it, there you go, one of the Birkins goes down.
Yeah, as you predicted it was just going to happen eventually. These riders, they're here for fun, and he's dropped down to what seems to be 6th position, which isn't the end of the race. You can make a position, so still 7 laps to go. But Matt Birkins leads the way with just a 2/10 gap over Will Howarth, and I see a big battle developing here as he just looks to try and find out where he's faster around the circuit, as he looks at the inside just slightly there, Matt Birkins.
Well, it's we know that these Senior Minimotos guys, they push each other's so hard, and apparently according to Josh Birkin, they push themselves so hard and they actually fall off the bike. But it is Matt from Will, and again these two were championship rivals last season, of course. So I say rivals with inverted commas again. For these guys, it's all just a big laugh. They're out there having the absolute time of their lives, and I can guarantee you that when Josh went off the bike, he was absolutely laughing to himself under his helmet. And we did look at that, I think that Will Howard just squeezed through around the outside into turn 1, and there is Josh meanwhile chasing down Nick Bennett with that GHR motor. And no, Matt still maintains the lead for the time being, but look how close Will Howarth is to the back of him. He's thinking about to move up to the inside, but not quite yet. But he's closing, and he's got the drive out of the right-hander. But again, can't quite make it. Maybe trying to tuck into that slipstream. It's a shame that it's almost a shame for Will Howarth that the Minimotos are using this twisty middle section, because it's really, really hard for these senior guys to make an overtake there, just because they're so big. There's no space for them to actually get through, so they can't really do anything around here. Obviously, it works well for the junior riders, but it really doesn't work for the senior riders whatsoever. And so Will Howarth is now just almost a waiting game of trying to push Matt Birkin into a mistake.
Yeah, he definitely is. You can just see he's just trying to add on pressure, get him to make a slight mistake, run a bit wide, so you can try and just put the bike up at the inside. A rider definitely to look out for is Holly Harris, who's just 6/10 off a podium position, which you would absolutely love to see. But she's under attack by Josh Birkins, who on his last lap was around, and he's way at the inside of Holly Harris, sorry about that, as we go into this short straight.
Wow, a wonderful move there by Josh Birkin up the inside, and I always feel like Holly Harris maybe saw who it was that was coming and maybe just left him a bit of a gap, didn't quite fancy being off the bike this time round. Of course, again, Josh and Matt, some of the hardest racing in the field. I mean, wonderful guys, but they will not hesitate to give it a bit of the argy-bargy if they see the opportunity. Holly Harris down into P5. She drops, but again, this is Josh Birkin on the charger floor. He is one of the fastest riders on the grid. He will be giving it absolutely everything, especially after his tumble early on, and he's actually already got past Craig Ashell as well around that back section, as we're saying, and the fastest lap of the race as well, of 56.101. So Josh Birkin absolutely flying at the moment, and he's got about 4.5 seconds to make up in 4 laps if he wants to challenge Howarth and his brother Matt for that lead. Let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, it's just going to have to be a waiting game once again. With 4 laps to go, Matt Birkin still leads away with just a small gap over Will Howarth. Matt Birkin is going to want to win this, just to rub it in his brother's face mainly. It's a brotherly love and brotherly competition, as we just have a little look at Josh Birkin to see how he is going to do in this next lap. Because if he can keep the pace up, he can potentially still catch them by the end of the race. As we wait for him just to come over the line now.
Ooh, it's down.
And it's a 5.1 gap between second place, and he's down on the lap time between first and second, which it's not looking good for Josh Birkins here.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Birkin's charge may be ending with P3. Will Howarth there, fastest lap of the race of 56, dead. He's now the one putting the pressure on Matt Birkin. And there we can see Howarth chasing down Matt, trying to desperately get it through as they head round into that tight heavy section. And there is Josh, not too far back, and trying just to get the bike pivoted in to these tight hairpins. It's of course in a 2-stroke important to keep your revs high through those corners as well. So a lot of rider technique needs to be used through there just to keep your revs high. And that's Will Howarth maybe having a look to the inside as they go around some lap traffic. Decides against it with 2 laps to go. But he was certainly thinking about having a look up the inside, and Matt Birkin now knows that the pressure is on. And oh no, and there goes Birkin, managing to pull a bit of a gap after a brave move on some traffic. Another fastest lap there for Josh Birkin, but it seems to be too little too late, as Matt Birkin extends the gap just a little bit with that clever use of lap traffic. How's Will Howarth going to respond?
Yeah, Will Howarth is going to want this position back, with lap traffic now interfering with him. And Josh Birkins, as you said, to the fast lap, which is an absolute sensational 55.7, which is the only rider in this race in the 55s, which for the next, in race 2, it's going to look absolutely great for Josh Birkins with his pace it can show as we go into the last lap now.
There we go, last lap flag is out and being waved. Not actually waited for the leaders for some reason, yeah, missed the leaders, but it is out. It is the last lap of the race, and here is Will Howarth chasing down Matt Birkin, having a look to the inside, having a look to the outside, wherever he goes. There is a Birkin in the way. Look how close they are as they come round to the back end of the circuit, round the right-hander. If he can get a good drive out of here, he might be able to try and throw himself round the outside of these right-left sweepers trying to get the momentum on the bike. Matt Birkin sitting pretty on the racing line. This is one of the last real opportunities he's going to have coming into the hairpin. On the brakes, it will be Matt Birkin that maintains this lead as they head into the final half of this tour, the final tour of the race and of race 1 of the Senior Minimoto's Championship. Into the final corner does Will Howarth. Have a look, he's so close, but I don't think he does, and it will be Matt Birkin crossing the line and taking the checkered flag. The marshal's not sure who's in the lead because he waved it for Josh Birkin, but it is Matt Birkin. He takes the win from Will Howarth, with Josh Birkin rounding out the podium after coming back. Will Howarth tried his best but could not get through Matt Birkin in those final few laps.
Yeah, this race just highlights how close this class really is. Just 1/10 of a second between first and second place going over the line there. Matt Birkins is absolutely delighted with that result. Will Howarth will not be disappointed, but he'll definitely try to get the lead next time and just make himself as wide as possible, using his whole body as a massive riders, as Matt Birkins did this race.
Well, there we have it. Senior Minimoto's done and dusted as the rest of the riders come to the line. Matt Birkin, a great ride there. He takes the win by, wow, look at that, 1.5 tenths of a second, separating himself from Will Howarth as they, just crossed the line apart, with Josh Birkin coming back to P3 in the end. Craig Ashall was P4. Holly Harris in the end could not keep hold of that fourth place. She fell back to where she started in P5, with Nick Bennett in P6 on that GHR motor. Chris Yeomans came home in P7, and Bruce Gentry was P8. Ross Michael and Keaton Payne rounding out the top 10 there with a lovely little performance. So it is Matt Birkin who takes the victory, and Will Howarth in P2. With Josh Birkin managing to come back. Unfortunately, it was too little too late after that tumble as well. Lots to look forward to here in the Senior Minimotos.
Yeah, there is, as we see a rider having a mechanical issue, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a shame. That looks like someone's day done before it's over. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, morning, day, who knows? There's still a race later. Hopefully they'll get it fixed. But,
yeah, everyone has a race for you later. Everyone at home, place your bets. Who's going to come on top of this race? And I'm going to ask you, Ross, will both Birkins make it to the end of the race without falling off?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, Josh Birkin fell off yesterday, managed to get back on and finish P3. Let's see if anyone gets Birkins this time. Of course, Matt starting from the pole, Josh starting from P3. They are lovely, lovely lads, they really are, but my goodness me, on the racetrack, they are the most mental characters you will ever come across. Now we wait for the marshal to get race 2 for the Senior Minimotos, and the first race of their day underway. Points to the lights, and it's lights on. Lights off, we're underway for the Senior Minimotos. It's a great start there from Craig Ashall, and Matt Will Howarth as well in the line 6 gets away very, very well. But it will be the Birkins leading the way in P1 and 2. Look at them side by side, frankly, as they come through opening sections. Josh from Matt leading from Will Howarth, Craig Ashall in P4, and there we go, Matt having a little look at the outside of Josh. These two try not to crash into each other, please. I know you're brothers and brotherly love and all that, but let's make it through the first lap clean at least. Heading down that back section now, absolutely flat out in these things. A very, very fast second here at Lydd, nicknamed the Silverstone of karting, of course, due to its high speed. And it is still Josh that leads from Matt as they head into that infill section. Will Howarth challenging to the outside there as they come into the first of the hairpins. Look how close the front three of them is. This is what Senior Minimotos is all about. Really close racing, as Will Howarth having a look to the inside there. It's all about essentially being nose to tail, lap after lap after lap.
Yeah, as we see, Matt Birkins setting the fastest lap of the race so far. Matt Birkins, do not be surprised, although they're brothers, do not be surprised if he just lets go of the brake to try and go up the inside, as he's clearly wanting past. He's just looking up the inside at every single opportunity he can do, but up his chopper, as I would say. Will Howarth is just behind.
Indeed, he is. I mean, those front three couldn't even fit a piece of paper between them. That's how close they are to each other. Holly Harris as well moving up to P4, so Craig Ashall now putting that pressure on for fourth place. That lead breakaway group is essentially shooting off into the distance. But look at this, these guys are just neck and neck as they head into the infill section, and that's Craig Ashall getting back past Holly Harris as well into the infill section. So Holly Harris, of course, She's got the weight advantage on her side. She's a bit smaller than Craig Ashall, as you can. Actually, it's quite clear to see as when they're getting through. So she's got that kind of that lightweight advantage. But of course, it's all about technique in the senior Minimotos. It's all about just trying to get down as close to the floor and getting those revs high and driving yourself through the corner.
Yeah, as we go into with 7 laps to go of this race, Josh Birkin still leads the way. I'm surprised I've not seen Will Howard anywhere to call, but the gap's now up to 5 tenths of a second, so Josh Birkin's slightly getting away. It's the last lap, it's the fastest lap of the race with 56.3.
It's a 5 tenths gap at the line, but that is a lap that's changing lap by lap, and that is Will Howarth up over Matt Birkin as well. So Matt Birkin drops down to P3. So Josh now in the lead from P3 on the grid, I believe it was that he started, and that is someone stopping at the side of the road. Unfortunately, not sure who that was that stops, but we keep going anyway. It's Josh from Will Howarth, from Matt Birkin, Craig Ashall 4th, Holly Harris in 5th, Nick Bennett brings it home in 6th. As it stands with 6 to go at the line that time, and that is Will Howarth absolutely on the limit coming through. That opening chicane section is super fast. Look how much wider he's running the bike. He is really pushing hard. Matt Birkin's probably sat behind him just waiting for him to take his brother out, or his brother to take Will out, so he can sweep through and take the lead once again. And that is Craig Ashall up the inside. Will Howarth goes to the lead with a great move up the inside through the super fast right-hand super. That is not a place that you go for a move. Great stuff there from Will Howarth into the lead of the race.
Yeah, it just shows how ruthless this class really is. The last lap, Will Howarth's at the fastest lap of the race, the first person in the 55 seconds, so it just proves he has the pace, and he's going to try and get away from Josh Birkins as soon as possible, because he knows that Josh Birkins will happily dive up the inside to take the lead as we get past some back markers here, but luckily they do not get in the way of the leaders.
Exactly, getting through some lap traffic there, and now it's the Birkin boys fighting each other for P2. Howarth will surely be hoping that they get up to their usual antics and he can streak off into the distance, but this race is not over yet. This top 3 still very close together, covered by about 6 tenths of a second at the line last time by. And Matt's now putting the pressure on Josh for P2 and having a look to the inside. Everyone knows, just letting Josh know that he's there. But no moves made just yet. Will Howarth still in the lead. Craig Ashall maintaining that P4. Holly Harris unfortunately dropping back just a little bit. She's still in P5, a little bit further down the field as well. There's all action all over the place here in the Senior Minimotos, as you'd expect. Everybody on this field is just, there's overtaking galore. There is Alberto Venteo. Of course, he had those problems earlier on, and he's managed to work his way up to 10th after starting 13th. That's very impressive with those engine issues. There is Callum White in P11 as well. If you're familiar to Fab, watching Fab last year, you may recognise his leathers. I believe they were Josh Birkin's last year, which got me very confused, because I saw that and obviously registered Birkin in my mind, because I was so used to the Birkins having those blue and orange overalls with the black helmet. But no, they've got some new gear, got some new threads, and moved their old stuff onto their cousin Callum. He's currently down at P11 fighting with this group of 3 for P9. It's David Miat leading from Venteo, from Callum White in this group. And that's someone off the road there at the side with some engine trouble, it looks like. So more trouble, so the Minimotos seemingly having some issues here. Yep, that's their day done, unfortunately. So we've been seeing a few reliability issues here for the Minimotos throughout the weekend. Again, first race of the season, putting everything through its paces as Callum White dives to the inside of Alberto Venteo, gets the move done. Very nice, shoves his opponent out wide, textbook move into the hairpin. Great stuff there.
Yeah, it was. As you can see through here, the slight different lines that the riders are taking, which is just great to see. And it's great to see everywhere you look in this class, there's action. And most importantly, everyone is having fun. Is this what this class is made for older adults to jump into the smaller bikes with the bigger riders, and everyone's having fun. And it's still close racing with the top 3 people all being in the 55-second lap times.
Yeah, exactly. It is Will Howarth slightly streaking away, though, as you'd expect. The Birkin boys battling, not doing them any favours as they go onto the penultimate lap, having to go around the outside of some traffic through turn 1 there. Of course, the Birkin brothers and Will Howarth, they were all in that championship fight last season. They ended up going the way of Bunny Hook, and that Oh, and there you go. Well, it was going to happen at some point, wasn't it? That, I believe, was Josh going down. Yes, it was. Josh Birkin goes down, as he did yesterday. And, well, we were waiting for it to happen. There you go. Josh Birkin. Well, yeah, I should have said, if you're new to FAB-Racing, it's a new season, new fresh start. The Birkins, they're a tenacious bunch. One of them will end up on the floor. Whether someone else is on the floor with them or not, who knows, but one of them will end up on the floor at some point, and there goes Josh Birkin down. So it will be Matt holding on to that second place as they go on to the final lap. Of course, as I was saying though, well, all three of these guys in that championship fight last season, that ended up going the way of Bernie Hook. Onto the last lap we go. And of course, Bernie retiring this season and sat there with his feet up, being very, very boring.
Yeah, with just the final lap to go, it was one of the Birkins was going to crash at some point, it seemed, and I don't believe Matt Birkins has lost the position from that, so it's not too much harm done. He'll come into the pits. Josh will probably have a laugh with him, make fun of him, and he should be, well, they'll be out for the next one, ready to fight each other again. Yeah, my mistake. I thought it was Josh that went down. It was, in fact, Matt Birkin that had a tumble into the grass, but he's back on the bike, all okay, and he'll still look like he finishes on the podium as Will Howarth coming through the final tour of the infield section. It's been a very nice race, and he's just, well, snuck off into the distance, hasn't he? Rounding the final corner. It's been a great race for Will Howarth. He'll take race 2 of the Senior Minimotos with a fantastic performance. There goes some lap traffic. There goes Josh Birkin coming home in P2 to finish in a very nice position, starting from third on the grid. Matt Birkin, after that tumble, comes home third. Craig Ashley's fourth. Holly Harris will bring it home in 5th place. Nick Bennett looks like he's going to come home in 6th as well. But it is Will Howarth with a brilliant race there. Got in front of the Birkins, let them have their battle. He knew exactly what he needed to do against them, and he did it perfectly. Yeah, Will Howarth got redemption from yesterday after losing out by just 1/10 of a second. So he came back today absolutely determined, and yeah, he'll be absolutely delighted with the result today. As you see, Will Howarth winning by 4.7 seconds, which is quite a large lead, with both the Birkin brothers in 2nd and 3rd. Craig Ashley coming home in 4th, Holly Harris in 5th, Nick Bennett 7th, Chris Yimmons 7th, Reese in 8th, David in 9th, and Callum White in 10th. Exactly, there is your top 10 for race 2 of the Minimotos. Matt Birkins, of course, won race 1, 2nd in race 2. He's going to be wanting to carry on, try to get another win. Will Howarth, on the other hand, is going to want to defend his win from the last race. Going to want to do the same again. It should be a great race no matter what. Oh, it definitely should. You can see there, that is Matt Birkin on your left, and apparently it's Josh Birkin on your right. But I thought that it was Will Howarth lining up on 2nd on the grid. But apparently, well, looks like Josh Birkin's had enough and decided, no, it's Josh Birkin's now sitting on pole. Matt Birkin's going off a 2. Who knows what's really going on, because it was supposed to be Will Howarth going off a 2. They're all in the wrong order, but we're going to get going anyway. That's Leia, the final marshal, who will determine when the lights are going off. Well, she won't, but she'll be the one who's pointing to the lights when we're all ready. And when she points to the lights, we all know what that means. It's the start procedure. Red lights go on, red lights go off, and then we're racing for the final Senior Minimotos event of the weekend. Here we go. Let's get going in the afternoon. Let's get going for the final race of the Senior Minimotos. The marshal doesn't quite seem happy just yet. A few glances up to race crew. Oh, and that looks like Alberto Venteo again off the side of the circuit on that 44 bike. More engine troubles for Alberto Venteo. Looks like we're going to go around once again. Nope, lights are coming on, so Alberto Venteo stuck at the side of the circuit. It's lights on, lights off. We're underway for the final race of the Senior Minimotos. It's a great start from Will Howarth behind, but closed in by the Birkin brothers. It's Josh from Matt from Will Howarth in P3. Your top 3 so far. Alberto Venteo left behind on the grid, and as Josh Birkin leads from Matt Birkin. And then, well, how long can they stay on for? Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. Josh Birkin's, of course, wanting this race win. As we see, Matt Birkin's going up the inside of his brother. Yeah, there you go, Matt Birkin into the lead of the race. So already the shenanigans between the Birkin boys has started. And let me tell you, it's either going to end when one of them or both of them are in the floor or in the wall. Because, well, again, if you're new to FAB and you haven't experienced the Birkin boys, well, off the track, loving brothers, great mates.
but they definitely will ride each other if they have to. Will Howarth as well in the P3. He's been strong all weekend, both in this and in Moto Team. He'll be trying to challenge those two, and again looking to the outside of Matt Birkin. Craig Asher behind as well, clinging to the background. Holly Harris should be behind them. No, Holly Harris unfortunately dropping down to 6th place, so Nick Bennett's got through. Nick Bennett actually up to 4th, so Nick Bennett, a great start from him from 6th on the grid. So Nick Bennett up to 4th, Craig Asher and Holly Harris dropping positions down to 5th and 6th. And there we can see that is still Matt Birkin in the lead from Josh Wilhouse, a little bit closer this time on Josh Birkin as they come, and that's Wilhouse having a look up the inside of Josh Birkin, going up the inside of Josh Birkin. A great move. Josh Birkin, I think, just got a little bit spooked by Wilhouse up there, slightly slid out wide, and there went Wilhouse, saw the gap, got on the accelerator, through he went. Very nice move.
Yep, certainly was. Will Howarth, of course, is going to be wanting to try and get his race victory. Nick Bennett, as you mentioned, had a great start, setting the fastest lap of the race so far. Holly Harris down in 6th, but she is no slouch. She will definitely be up there. She's a Talent Cup rider. She's on the back of them right now, trying to find a way past.
Yeah, Holly Harris featuring this weekend. We've got a few Talent Cup riders on the grid this weekend. And as we go around there, she goes looking for a move on the inside of Nick Bennett, but wasn't able to get through. Craig Asher did get back through that last lap. And there is the lead trio once again. It's Birkin, Howarth, Birkin, Matt from Will, from Josh, your front three at the moment. But Will's having a look once again. He's got so much drive off of the corner. Just look at the way that he accelerates out of the turns. He's got so much pace on that bike, does Will Howard. He's absolutely flying out of the tight turn. So coming through here, he's going to be really on the money. Matt Birkin needs to be really on the defensive, and he should be pulling to the inside. No, he doesn't. So Will Howard sees the opportunity. Josh Birkin having a look as well, but Matt Birkin keeps the lead of the race. That's Alberto Ventel, I think I just saw off to the inside there. Once again, he stops by the looks of things. Already he's got going, but once again stopping. Will Howard currently has the fastest lap of the race, but these guys are battling through every single corner. Who's going to have the fast lap across the line this time? They're all setting basically identical. Actually, Will Howarth and Josh Birkin on that last lap, identical lap times to the thousandths of a second. That's how hard these guys are pushing. Yeah, they're pushing so hard. This is some hard racing that we're watching right now. Matt Birkin's still in the lead, trying to make it as difficult as possible for Will Howarth to get past. Will Howarth just try to show his front wheel to Matt Birkin, try to set him off, try to push him into a mistake. Josh Birkin's, as we see, Will Howarth having a look up the inside, but the door gets closed by Matt Birkin's. This is what Josh Birkin's wants to see. These two squabbling, it'll slow them down, and it should let Josh Birkin's through. It should. Will Howard still there, still looking to the inside. Matt Birkin also trying to defend. And while these guys are battling, surely Craig Asher behind, the gap starting to get smaller and smaller. Nick Bennett, Holly Harris also fighting. Holly Harris trying to keep Chris Nolan behind at the moment in this battle for P6, getting past some lap cars. There goes Will Harris, looks to the inside, door closed once again by Matt Birkin. Fastest lap of the race at 56 dead for Will Howard, so he's really flying at the moment. The fastest lap time ever set around here in a Senior Minimoto was funnily enough by Will Howard last year. It was a 54.923, and Will Howard again looking to the inside, unable to make the gap appear, but he is all over the back of Matt Birkin. He's all there, and he's looking to the inside. He's gone to the inside. A brilliant move by Will Howard, sliding up the inside of the right-hand sweeper, takes the lead of the race, and now Matt Birkin's got to counter that, but he's got his brother having a look behind him as well. This battle ain't over yet. It certainly isn't. Josh Birkin's, of course, thinking that he's faster than his brother, and that he can stick with Will Howard as we see him getting through even more lap traffic. It's a three-man train. It is indeed. Lap traffic, a bit of a problem around here at Lydd for those leaders. It's just the pace difference from the top of the field compared to the bottom, especially after coming off such a long winter break. Some riders a little bit rusty, it would seem. And, it's just really becoming a problem. I know that some riders are getting really unlucky with lap traffic this weekend. Some are getting very, very lucky. So it really is all about where you catch the traffic. It's all about the luck. Will Howard, another fastest lap that last time round of 55.934. Only rider into the 55s in this race. Still about second off his own lap record from last year. But he is flying at the moment. As we look over there, we see a few riders coming around. Still Matt Birkin and Josh Birkin competing with each other. Nice little crowd forming up here. You can see there in the paddock. Some of the riders down the back of the field. A nice and big field here at FAB-Racing. 18 riders as that, I believe, is the fight for fourth place. No, not fourth place, sixth place, I want to say. I believe that's Nick Bennett and Chris Yeomans. As they're heading on, there goes Chris Yeomans up into P6. So a nice little move there, just using the drive off of the corner. No, apologies, that's Reece Gentry on Mark Payne. So using the drive off the corner to get through. 3 laps to go for these guys as they head through. Nice moves being made there.
Just 3 laps to go. Will Howard set the fastest lap once again for 55.2 now. He's really up in the pace of this race. He's pushing Matt and Josh to their limits and seeing if they can stick with them and keep this pace. With just 3 laps to go in this race, Craig Ashall is 4.6 seconds back, so it does not look like he's going to be in play for the end of this race, but it's race 3, it's their final race of the weekend. Will Howarth, Matt Birkins, Josh Birkins, Craig Ashall, in fact the whole field is pushing as hard as they can because they know they have a month until the next race.
Exactly, this is the last race of the weekend for the Senior Minimotos, but we're back in a month's time for the second round at Llandow in South Wales. I'm just going to remind everyone again of the lap record by Will Howarth, 54.923, because he's starting to push it a little bit. That last lap wasn't as good, came across some lap traffic. Penultimate lap of the race, and the Birkin boys giving each other what for, as you'd expect. And Will Howarth is streaking away, 0.5 of a second was the gap last time out. And he's got some clear track in front of him as well. A little bit of lap traffic you can see there through the clear visor, focusing very, very hard. Just dead set on his target, the next corner. And, you know, again, that's why I said it earlier, Lewis, but that's why I love riders with the clear visor. It may not be as beneficial with the sun out, but it just lets you see into the mind of the rider, lets you see what's going on. You can just see how dedicated these front runners are.
Yeah, they certainly are. As we see they're getting through even more lap traffic. They're hitting them at a perfect time at the moment, so they're not slowing them up as we go into the final lap of the race. Josh Birkins' hope right now is that Matt Birkins, his brother, is going to get held up by some lap traffic by catching it at the wrong time, so he can hopefully find the gap and get through. But Josh Birkins is not going to let this go without a fight. As you see, he's going down the inside of his brother. Josh Birkins is through in the number 2 bike. Will his brother get cut back? No, he will not.
Lovely move there by Josh Birkin up the inside of Matt, just using the width of the track, using the corner to drive himself out. But these two fighting, it's just handing it another hand on the trophy to Will Howarth, who's been again phenomenal all weekend, not just in this but in Motor2. Of course we'll be seeing Will Howarth out later in the Motor2, but he comes to the final corner for the final time on a Minimoto this weekend. It's Will Howarth, it's 2 out of 3, and it will be the championship lead going his way. He wins race 3 in the Senior Minimotos, but look at how close the Birkin brothers were at the line. I think maybe a bit of a synchronised finish there out of the 2 of them. Josh Birkin comes up in second with Matt Birkin in third. Craig Ashall and Holly Harris come up in 4th and 5th, but it's Will Howarth, after a phenomenal weekend of racing here at the Lydd kart circuit, who comes away with a 2nd win of the weekend in the Senior Minimotos.
Yeah, it was a great ride there from Will Howarth. As you have a look at the cool down lap, pulling some small wheelies, celebrate him as we have a look at the top 10 in this race.
Well, there we have it.
Will Howarth winning by 9 tenths of a second, the best lap of 55.2. Both the Birkins brothers 2nd and 3rd. Craig Arshall getting home in 4th. Holly Harris in 5th. Nick Bennett 6th. Chris Yeomans in 7th. Reece in 8th. Mark Payne in 9th. And Keaton Payne in 10th.
On the road to MotoGP, this is FAB-Racing.